Okay guys, I got the cover back on the front of the heater core. So that's just 2 screws holding that on. Here's the new filter that'll replace the one that the rodent chewed up. That goes in there. Huh. Can't be that confusing. This guy goes on like that. Oh, there was no screw. That thing holds it in. I'm like, ah, okay. I thought there was a screw there, but no, that when that's screwed down, that's what holds it in. So, if you're wondering if you got something like this, what that's for, there's probably a filter behind it. Maybe. The worst part of this job has been pushing the hose, getting the hoses rerouted through the bus up to here. That. This thing goes back on here. So. And there's where the hoses come in, and they're all connected, so you're good to go there. Okay, hopefully I don't have to go back in there anymore. Okay guys, it's time to go back under the bus again. Got my other insulated clamps in. Thank goodness for Amazon. I only had enough clamps that I just went through and put the one and then zip tied the other one too. So now I go back and get them both anchored down. So I got everything I need. Okay guys, here's the path through and up against the floor. Starting right here just in front of the fuel tank. Running up there to the front. Just been putting 2 of these insulated hose clamps on it to hold it in place up to the floor. Trying to keep it off all the wire looms and anything else has been a challenge. Okay guys, trying to give you some perspective here where these hoses all went. There's the rear end. So there's the underbay, the back end of the underbay storage. And see right there, I came through and I insulated those holes. And then I went and swung around, came out back through there, just connected it up under the floor there. And goes on back. And I'm gonna go where it's sagging down there, I'm gonna have to put 2 more over there. Okay guys, I want to conclude the video on the rerunning the heater hoses back up to the front. It was challenging. There's plenty of video of how I routed them up there, which was, I am no expert on this. I just made what I thought was the best decisions on how to get back up there underneath the floor. The stainless steel insulated clamps that I used, they worked awesome. So put a link in there if you want to find those on Amazon. You can get them in the proper size. But those worked awesome. The thing that was the hardest is it's all done and it's all working now. It works. But purging the air out was a real problem. And I reached out to everybody. I reached out to AAA Bus. I called the bus company here that supplies us with parts and does bus maintenance. I talked to my local mechanic. I talked to another guy with another bus company. And basically, I thought when you opened the valves on the engine and turned on the booster pump and opened the valve at the front, that it would just pump that water right up there. And mine did not do that. So the engine has to get warm, the thermostat has to open up, then the water or the coolant can flow. In retrospect, it's filling up okay. So every warm-up cycle, at first, one warm-up cycle, I saw about a half to 3/4 of a gallon drop in when it cooled off. And now they're getting smaller and smaller, and the heater's working better and better. We know that the new valve works because we can control the amount of heat. The fans and the heater core is all working because we're getting heat. So it's working fine, and I expect it'll work even better when it finishes purging that excess air out. But in retrospect, if I would have just taken a little drill or a pump that you can hook on a drill and pumped that line full of coolant before I hooked it up to the booster pump or back to the engine block, I could have avoided all of this. So I'm no expert. I don't know if that would work, but if you're doing this, I would say seriously consider using an auxiliary pump. Pump the new coolant into those lines before you connect up to the booster pump or back to the engine block. And then you won't have to fight this purging thing. Then you can just open your valves on the engine back up and may have a little bit of air gained. If anybody does that and it works, I'd sure like to know about it. But I'm really grateful that this all came back together and it is working. And I'm thankful that, I had lots of help from all my friends, but that was a little traumatic. So I hope any of the info in here is helpful. Like I said, this is just what I did. I'm not a pro, so take it for what it's worth. Hope you have lots of love in your life and good luck with all your projects. Take care.